Hello everybody, I'm Simon. Today we're going to talk about Amarone, which is a traditional wine from northeastern Italy, from the town of Verona, area of Veneto. It's a blend of 3 different varietals, Corvina, Rondinella and Corvinone. The grapes are actually dried for a period of 3 months, can be longer, and then aged in wood for 3 years. This is Ca'Storica Amarone. It's available at Trader Joe's. It's under 15 bucks a bottle. However, you can spend as much as $1,000 on a bottle of Amarone, but then why would you spend $1,000 on a bottle of Amarone when you can go to Trader Joe's and buy Ca'Storica for $15? But this is an authentic bottle of Amarone. It's under $15. It's a spectacular wine. It's soft, it's got fruit. It's very California in style. So if you're new to Italian wines, but you're a big lover of Napa cabs, this is right up your street. And today we're going to cook with it. We're actually going to create a traditional dish from Verona called risotto con amarone. And we're going to probably cook with this one and drink this one. So let's go cooking. So to make this authentic dish from Verona, risotto all'amarone, we're going to need a few ingredients. Everything that you see on this table can be purchased at Trader Joe's. You don't need to go to any fancy whole paycheck store or anything like that. It can all be bought at Trader Joe's. So what we have here is Parmigiano Reggiano. This is a key ingredient. We have some cultured butter. It's French, but don't tell anyone. We have some regular flour, an onion, and Trader Joe's arborio rice, and not to mention the Ca'Storica Amarone, which we are going to be cooking with. The first thing we're going to have to do is grate the cheese, Parmigiano, for 2 reasons. We're going to do Parmesan Cristinas, which is going to be a complement to the risotto, and also, as we're making the risotto, we're going to be adding some Parmesan cheese to that to thicken it up and add a little bit of salt. This is what we're looking for. Right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix Parmigiano Reggiano and then 1 scoop of flour and then mix up. You can add a little bit of pepper and then a little bit more of a mix. While you're doing this, it's a good idea to get the frying pan nice and hot. So that's what you're looking for, that nice powdery consistency there. So here we go. Once you've got that cooking, just wait till it goes a little golden brown and then we're going to flip it. It's getting the texture that we need. Right, soon looks like we're going to be ready to flip. There you go. A lot of people ask me where I learned how to cook. Back in the 90s, I used to sell white Alba truffles to fine dining restaurants in London. And so a lot of my customers today are now very famous chefs. Marco Pierre White, the Roux brothers, Pierre Kaufman, Anton Mosiman. Marco Pierre White was the guy that trained Gordon Ramsay, and the Roux brothers trained Marco Pierre White. So many times I was sitting in a kitchen, kind of looking over their shoulders, seeing what they were doing, and a lot of what I learned in cooking comes from spending many hours in kitchens waiting to get paid for truffles. I always prefer to have my onions finely chopped, so what I do is I cut little squares, and then when I chop, I've got these little squares which, when put into the risotto, they disappear. And there we are, there you have it. There's your little squares. And then we're going to add some olive oil, just enough to cover the onions. What you want to do is you want to heat the onions up until they start to go a little clear. We're going to take some of this Trader Joe's butter. We're going to take a little knob, about yay, which will go in once we put in the rice. Okay, so we're going to get a nice generous portion of risotto and a little bit more, like that. Now, this is where we add the butter. Throw that in and start mixing. We're going to lower this temperature a little bit. To help with this process, I usually add a little bit of wine. I usually, for this amount of risotto or rice, I would add about 3.5 cups of water. But in this case, we're going to add 1. One and a half. Shit, we run out of wine. 3 and a half. And then just a half a cup of water. So, I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken stock that I did earlier. What you're gonna see is you're gonna see all this rice absorb all the color of the Amarone. So you're gonna get this rich purpley color. It's gonna be very, very pigmented and very concentrated. So it's one of those dishes that it's a meal in itself because it's so rich, but so wonderful once it's done with the Parmigiano and the Cristina. It's gonna be amazing. So now the wine is mixed with the risotto, with the onion and the butter. We have to reduce it. Absorb all that wine in the risotto. It starts to become a little thick. So this is the process now. It can take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to thicken up. We're not adding the cheese at this point. At this point, we're still waiting for the reduction to happen. Very al dente. I'm going to use all of the Parmigiano. Now, the big moment. There is your risotto and your Parmesan Cristina. Done. Risotto all'Amarone Ca'Storica.